打了回来，但是随后的表现对，那一波很关键，那一波可以说也是 OMG 自己的一个失误，但是最为致命的一波失误却是最后的那一波，我觉得。
其实这场比赛就是两支队伍感觉在第一场好像。不知道是不是都是今天第一场比赛有点紧张，可能是近期没有什么大赛，所以之间在面对今天这个大阵仗的时候稍微有点点紧张，失误频频。
对，两支队伍的话都有一点点失误。
对，基本上都是靠着对面的失误来取得很多优势，包括 OMG 各种是小龙那里送的一波，还有包括是大龙前面各种送了，然后包括是这边 IG 也是，反正两边就感觉都是在抓对面的失误，而且基本上都抓住。
刚才还有一个非常有趣的点让我想到了，真的在这个我们的联赛里面，就是 IG 那一场面对 OMG 是成功的 rush 掉了大龙。对，然后这一把同样 OMG 利用对方这个姿态在下路的一个空档，又 rush 掉一条大龙。
All right, guys, welcome back. We're, of course, going to be getting into game number 2. This is the China Season 4 World Championship Qualifiers, OMG versus Invictus Gaming. Best of 3 set. So far, 1 game in OMG's favor, and I don't know about IG, Frosker, and I know you're completely unbiased opinion on this, but what do you think about game number 2? Oh, I guess she's not ready yet. We'll just keep going solo for just a minute, because basically... Oh, you are? Okay, so... what do you think about the second game?
My mic cut out because I was so excited about IG, because I'm
literally the volume was so loud that it just kind of like
my
cut the cord.
Of fangirling just split eardrums. No, going to this game, it's hard, because the bans, I felt, obviously the bans were just kind of targeting against OP champions in general, just kind of a blanket across that. But like you said, I mean, both teams got what they wanted. OMG just played it better, and I don't feel this was so much a champion issue as it was a play style and a game plan issue. OMG was just much more methodical and much more precise in how they carried it out. The fact that, you know, they started with the bot lane, Lucian and Braum, giving Son, making sure they will never start the buff on the bottom side of the map because they never want Son and Dada 7 to leash for them and to possibly lose any sort of advantage that they can get in that bot lane. It's very stereotypical of OMG, and just one thing after the other, boom, 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 this is how we set it up, this is how we knock it down. And IG just reactive, chaotic, chickens with their heads cut off is what it looked like.
Yeah, well, and the man in the top lane really had a lot to do with that. Going, well, he did get going, and that was absolute craziness. I think Youngsu has to get out of his comfort zone for this. And like I know that sounds weird to say because he had hard enough time on something that he plays incredibly well, but it's so easy to figure him out. And Going has had absolutely no trouble dispatching anyone on this team. He nearly 1v3'd.
Yeah, and that's stereotypical of Going. Again, he goes, he plays those hyper carry champions. Surprising to see him on Jax again. The last time we saw him, he was actually picking it away from Cola, StarHorn Royal Club's top laner. So see if he continues that trend or if he maybe goes back to Aurelia.
Speaking of StarHorn.
Apparently
those are the teams, that's the team playing tonight. I didn't know that. So OMG, you see on the right side. Maybe the logos are mixed up, but the teams are not.
I think they...
I think they decided, wait a minute, guys, hold on. Let's pull that graphic back for a second. The MVP definitely Going. So we talked about this. Insane Jax play. This was one of his signature champions, and Jax is still a very popular pick for the top carries of China, particularly this man. He epitomizes it. You called him, like, he is sort of like China's answer to Flame.
But that's the issue, is that Jax isn't actually that... I mean, he's a big pick, but on very specific players, and it's really Cole, and we did see a recent resurgence of Jax, but it was to pick away from Cole. I'm just very surprised that Going decided to kind of run with that theme and continue to play him into this. I mean, obviously, knowing that Youngsu... The fact that Youngsu's champions are so predictable, knowing that he's going to go for that Shyvana offers a bit more credibility to that pick, especially so early on, but see if he continues, see if maybe he mixes it up.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Invictus, on the other hand, they need a better strategy. I mean, they got everything they wanted. They got a Vayne Thresh bot lane. They got Youngsu on a comfort champion. They got Zatai rocking Zed. You think they maybe attempt the Yasuo takeaway this time?
I definitely think Yasuo will be a contested pick, but again, I'm really on the fact that it's more about the Lee Sin. It's the synergy, the fact that the composition was set up not only to give Cool that champion, but the fact that they had so many resources for that champion to thrive. You had the Braum ultimate, you had the Lee Sin Dragon Rage. How many Dragon Rages did we see into, Last Breath? So they find the synergy there, and it's about disrupting that synergy, separating it, forcing OMG to kind of fight out of their comfort zone, and they called all of the shots that game.
Yeah, they were able to run it absolutely the way they wanted to. A bit of a rocky early game, and I think that's something that Invictus has to exploit. The Lee Sin takeaway would be a big one now. Let's see if they can pull that off. They will, of course, be on the red side this time. So, well, maybe they can grab themselves 2 clear picks here. I mean, we talked about it. That's kind of prioritized. People like that red side instead because of your ability to kind of grab 2 things right off the bat, 2 of your OP pickups, what have you.
Red side does have a higher win rate in China than blue side, and again, it's also about counter picking. China is very much about kind of the I'll beat you in lane mentality, not necessarily, actually, very necessarily. With these teams, I'm going to retract that statement. I'm thinking Go and Cool and Zatai are all in this game.
Yeah, there's all bets are off. I mean, the mid laners are pretty crazy, but they did play a very passive early game. That's not something we frankly expected to see out of Cool. It was a bit more tempered.
Both of these mid lanes can, quote unquote, control each other. They're both very experienced, very strong laners. And again, we talked about how this game was really going to be decided by the jungle tempo and the bot lane tempo, and it was.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. Well, let's see what Drug Now Loveling pulls out of his hat this time. Of course, you are seeing on your screen the man himself. See if he can make some plays for his team this time. He definitely got a lot of pickoffs. Son has to watch his positioning as we get into this pick and ban phase. Zilean taken off the board immediately by OMG, and that's a nice little jab at Zatai.
They are never going to let that champion through, and again, both these guys like to play Zed, they like to play Yasuo, and you have to think Assassins are the counter to the AoE wave clear. If someone wants to pick Orianna, Ziggs, Zilean, or I should say Orianna and Ziggs and just kind of wave push all day, you pick an Assassin, you immediately murder them. Zilean, however, you can't do that. He gets to do exactly what Ziggs and Ori gets to do, but gets to walk away from the Assassins due to his Chrono Shift.
Yeah, not going to be a factor this game. Neither is the Cow or Maokai. That's been something that Going has played a lot of more recently, but OMG are the ones who banned it away. Ryze taken off the table, and this is something you have to focus on Going. He cannot be allowed to pick that champion up.
It's also much a very double whammy against Cool and Going. You talked about Going's Ryze. It is very potent, but Cool, also very well known for his Ryze play.
Oh, last ban's, yeah, Yasuo. Not a surprise there.
The respect Yasuo ban. See if Cool actually goes for Ahri.
You know, it's a possibility. He has been, arguably saving it, right?
I have a feeling he's going to go Ahri or Ziggs. This is my prediction.
They have spent a lot of bans on the top and the mid right now. All of the supports are pretty much on the table. I mean, yeah, you can argue Alistar, but this is pre-nerf too. Okay, so there we go. Banning out the Jax. That's another respect thing against Going. They have focused 3 bans against OMG's top laner. All in on this one.
See if maybe they can help Young Su out in his kitty-sized champion pool.
Well, I don't think they'll lock in immediately. They have in the past, but I don't think they can afford to this time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is going to be an Aurelia game. Wow. OMG saying we can outplay you any time of day.
Well, the confidence in being able to first pick your top laner, please play Gnar. Fun fact about LPL, there are no champion bans. There's no time period of this champion is not available to play. As soon as a champion is live on the patch, it is live to play in competitive play. No champions are ever disabled.
Yeah, and that's why we saw Incredibly Broken Lucian played for a long time.
Oh,
and
goodness.
They had a nice amount of spill over into patches after that, even now. That is a smart pickup.
Was that the week that StarHorn climbed up?
I don't want to think about it. We'll see them later, Frost. Don't worry. Don't you worry. That's a nice lock-in, though. Illusion, I think doubling down on Kha'Zix might be a mistake, because that does give Loveling Lee Sin again. But the Braum choice is nice, because I think this will synergize a bit better with what they might try to do.
Nocturne. We don't actually see a lot of Nocturne in LPL. It's starting to show up on the back half of the split into very mixed success.
And with Orianna.
The issue with Nocturne, it's a very coordinated champion. I feel like it's a very methodical champion in how you have to use it. And when you think about LPL, it's very reactionary play. Team fight, they spiral across the map. They're very elongated, very extended, very fast. And it's really easy for Chinese teams to separate a Nocturne from his team with a poorly placed ultimate. And because he's not played a lot, he's not practiced a lot.
Speaking of not practiced a lot, the Sejuani hover right now. It's got me through a loop.
It's actually going to be mid-Sejuani.
It's the secret Zatai strategy, right? Kid likes Lucian a lot. I wouldn't be too surprised to see this. He goes over to Ahri. And that's a nice choice. Ooh, back to Vayne for Kid. All right, double down.
Again, their picks weren't the problem, and Kid actually played fairly well on Vayne, except he ended up a bit of support Vayne there.
I want to say that Zatai was actually considering Sejuani, just because that's something Zatai would do.
I would love to see an AP Sejuani, but like you said, picking away that Ahri from Cool, not going to let him have it. Looks to Fizz.
All right, and then Corki for San as well. This has something that has... oh, okay, never mind. He's going to go back on Lucian. I think he really had to think hard about it, so we will see a very similar bot lane matchup, albeit with the support swapped this time. And yeah, Fizz on Cool. This guy can play anything too, so that's going to be a little bit more assassin-y, even though last game was very assassin-y.
It's very scary.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of blood. PG-13 at least.
We'll see how the jungle matchup goes again. Will Youngsu actually look to Trundle this time? His Shyvana is available.
This isn't a terrible choice. However, I feel like against Aurelia, it's hard to say.
It's easy for Trundles to separate Aurelia because they're so good at their placement with their pillar. That's what I'm looking. I'm like fumbling with my hands, like making like a stacking block. It looks awful.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard to say, but the Trundle will be locked in, so finally that's going to be the end of it all. And guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break as the champions are all locked in for both teams. Game number 2, OMG versus Invictus Gaming. Oh, we're not taking a break. Okay, we're back. That was a quick break, guys.
Quick load
So
screen.
here we are, on to Summoner's Rift. And this is, I feel already this is going to be a much better game for Invictus. I think they're playing a lot more to their strengths.
We'll see if they're able to capitalize here. Again, it's very much about the jungle. We'll see what Loveling, how aggressive he is with his Nocturne, if he's going to farm it out, wait for that Paranoia ultimate, and try to make something happen on the map. If Illusion can make something happen early. I mean, that said, the last time he got First Blooded. See if OMG is able to repeat that success. I feel like IG shouldn't fall for it twice.
Well, you know, that's definitely a
But again, look at this. Alan starting on the opposite side of his bot lane, making sure that San and Dada7 get to lane first. They're able to take control of the wave. They're able to get control of the minions, get control of the aggro, and get control of the lane.
Yeah. Dada and San are definitely going to have an advantage in this very early game, but you've got to be careful when dealing with a Braum because it only takes one Q to get caught out, and Kid should be able to put him up against the wall, quite literally.
What is Cool doing? Very late off
spawn. Very
spawn.
Good question.
They're trying to check for a lane swap.
Yeah, I don't think this happens though. Like, IG and OMG are not really teams that engage in that a lot, even when the meta favored it. That was more StarHorn territory and Elite. How
patient everyone is being, not showing on the map, just waiting to see, is it the lane swap? Did they do the 2v2?
Vision denial. It's too strong. Game's gonna get underway though. Nothing. They tried some shenanigans. They didn't quite work out. It's like when you go to toilet paper somebody's house and then like you realize that you only bought half a roll.
That's where we got to, toilet papering someone's house.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
Oh, it was just me? Oh, kitties. Speaking of spaghetti, he's taking a lot of damage right now. Uh-oh, Youngsu. Early trades already for the top lane. Youngsu going 1v1 me, bro, under tower.
San and Dada actually lost control of the wave.
Yeah, they are playing this a little bit sloppier. Now, early game has not necessarily been OMG's strength, and as we saw in that last match, this is something that they have to work on. This can be punished by a lot more early game competent teams. Oh, forcing the flash, that's good, just for the price of one hook. Nicely played. And now San does take a Winter's Bite, but he's able to answer back.
And he was very reactive on that flash because he knows that Nocturne started blue buff, and it's very possible that the jungler is on the bottom side of the map. Could have been in that brush right there. So you could say, oh, even if he got locked up there, he possibly wouldn't have died. He didn't need to burn that flash. It was overzealous. He thought and he knows that Alan could have been waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and you can see that they are very worried about the kind of counterplay that can come in. Now, Nocturne, kind of jungler that you don't really expect too much action from pre-6, nonetheless.
Speaking of
Loveling
action,
is really crazy, but
look at Illusion here.
Yeah, he's waiting for Go-Going. Go-Going very low right now, not dealing with Youngsu's Trundle very well. And this is a nice trade. Uh-oh, he's going to face check into the wrong bush, but he gets a stun off. Wow, the Equilibrium Strike and Flash burned in the same instant. How about those mechanics?
Does get the flash, so success there for Illusion. Great patience there to wait for him to come and face check the brush, waiting for the ward as opposed to just jumping in. Gets the summoner for his troubles.
Uh-oh, Zatai and Cool duking it out. Orb Deception, double ignite spent. These guys are just slugging each other in the face. Cool takes a lot worse of it, though.
That ranged champion matchup versus a melee champion. Both ignites down, still have their flashes available for them, though. See how the junglers make use of this.
Can you even call Fizz a melee champion when he can just playful tricks
pole?
around you? Yeah, totally easy. Oh, kid. San's got to be careful dealing with this Vayne. Dada more so. He has been caught out on a couple of occasions, but he is able to heal it up. Biscuits are a useful thing to have at this stage of the game.
It's harder for San and Dada 7 to control the minion wave because Thresh doesn't get the relic procs that Braum is going to get, which is why you see this shove more so from Vayne and Kitties. And of course that's where Kitties wants to be because there's less minions to block him from trying to find this poke with his Q. But they have to be careful because they don't have any wards there.
Yeah, speaking of Vision, we were praising like the evolution of Vision in China over the last set, and it just isn't there now. It is all about the denial in this early game, but you have to be so careful of these junglers. I think the saving grace here for Invictus is that Loveling has been playing the typical Nocturne game where he kind of just sits in the jungle till he gets 6 and then he finds somebody and ults him.
But this is, you know, exactly what Kha'Zix wants to do, is his ultimate not so bad himself. So is that trade-off there that by waiting for his power spike, waiting for his ultimate, you're also allowing Kha'Zix his?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to say. Now, Cool has been forced back here, and you see Zatai doing a slightly better job here. Youngsu under tower with the Equilibrium Strike, stunned up for just a moment, going able to perfectly take him out. But I love the presence that Illusion has been giving in that top side, making going second guess how far he should go out on this. Making him pay for it, really.
And the security, too, of Vision on that top side jungle. Do not want that Trundle to get ganked, and that tells me that they want to create a pressure point. They want to draw Allen to that top lane and try to make something happen underneath on the map, which is why we see Illusion actually posturing around mid.
Speaking of
Vision
Allen,
is on Allen.
oh, frozen domain. Youngsu knows, but they will ping him out, backing away. Nice safe game from Invictus so far. Despite the moves that they've made, they really haven't given too much up.
Well, pressure is on, so different mentality going into this game, especially playing from the back foot. They can't afford to lose here and get knocked down into the loser's bracket. So expect to see them kind of, you know, shake off their usual Invictus Gaming dive charm and play a little bit more reserved, although we do see Allen.
Zatai has been landing those
Speaking of
quite
charm,
well.
good one.
Oh, going. Bite out of that Aurelia. Youngsu is looking a lot better on this Trundle pick now with the 1v2 in the mid. Zatai definitely showing up pretty huge. Doesn't even need the help of Illusion.
And you can see
big time.
The level 5 Nocturne gank in its natural habitat.
Yeah, that's
very potent.
The legendary play. They have been. You can tell that they're kind of needing some help by calling him out of that jungle, delaying that power spike just a little bit. Got the Madrids and a couple of health potions at this point. Oh, the 1v1 is real. Going. Preempted Pillar of Ice. Youngsu, who's going to come out of this one, I think it is going to be going. First blood going over to Aurelia, but it was a hard-fought match. Now, meanwhile, San nearly gets caught up by Kid and Kitties, but he's okay.
The saving grace for going right there was the fact that he was able to use his ultimate to not only do damage to Youngsu because he didn't try to dodge anything, but he also got a couple of creeps in the back half, which allowed him the extra lifesteal to survive that exchange. So going toe-to-toe with the duelist champion of the game, not quite the smartest.
Well, and it's not just the champion, it's going. This guy makes it look easy when he duels people out, so...
And Aurelia, a big comfort champion, so he knows where his power spikes are.
Now, I love the Kid playing on a champion like Vayne with a lot of rolling dodge tactics. It makes it that much easier to evade the thresh hooks. I don't think I've seen one land this game, and part of it is Dada's most successful champion maybe not saying much, just considering his somewhat lackluster performance overall. He has been playing a lot safer, so we'll give him credit for that, but it's way more difficult to grab a hook onto anybody that you actually want to grab a hook onto, so they're really playing this out for the team fight phase.
And you're absolutely right, but the other issue again is the fact that Kid and Kitties have control of the lane. It's very hard to land those hooks when you have, more minions in front of you than you do behind you, and if you do happen to land one and you try to engage on it, especially in these early levels, you can get punished.
Oh, that charm! Oh, man.
By creep damage.
Speaking of punished, yeah, one of these days, we are going to just see a health bar from Cool just go 100 to 0 if Zatai can land the combo. The Playful Trickster is very good very useful for evading that nonetheless. Oh, the duels. I think we've seen this before. Youngsu taking a bit of a smarter angle this time. Now the wave is pushed in the bot in favor of Dada and San, and the culling will come out. Meanwhile, back in the top, take a bite out of crime.
The difficult aspect, although here we go.
Oh boy, chasing it all the way in. Spirit Rush away. Lovely might have gone a little bit too far forward. Flashing. They're going to be able to just barely secure that kill. Cool. He's on the wrong side of the tower, isn't he? Illusion should be able to mop this one up. Nonetheless, it's a 1 for 2. If they get it, oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, I forgot. Ziggs can do, or Fizz can do that. Ziggs can do that too, actually.
And of course,
all these escape champions.
Good job.
Oh, the lantern. Never call a kill before it happens. Today I learned.
So nice collapse for safety from Dada 7 to allow that lantern for Cool to walk out of that, especially as Vayne was looking for the condemn stun. The issue was that Illusion burned his leap into the fight onto the back half of the tower to just get in range, which meant that Cool just had to wait for his cooldown to come back up and was able to walk away from that.
Yeah, really nice.
Still a 1 for 1.
Extension. Yeah, I mean it's an even trade. This game is so even. OMG just slightly grabbing an edge in gold just because of a little bit better CSing. Dragon has not been contested yet. We used to see really early dragons, but the meta shifted away from that when the lane swapping ended, and now that kind of hasn't really been the norm. I think that will be the first big team fight, though. It's the easiest objective on the map, and I don't see these teams going for a 5-man up top. Over 2-man. That might happen. Lovely.
They're looking for a dive.
I'm good, man. Another time.
He doesn't have Paranoia available, so
yeah,
he has to walk into this.
Big time. Now, Youngsu is actually really low. Pillar's coming out. He should be able to chase this one down just fine, but he's taking a lot of damage. Let's go going. Flashing away. Youngsu, oh my goodness, can he escape? Gets the subjugate off, and Loveling has to move away from turret range. A beautiful Trundle play by Youngsu.
The hesitation, but hold on, Zatai now involved.
Yeah, he overstayed, and that's Zatai getting himself one. Spirit Rush is still up. Can he go for it? He's going to dive for the dive. Orbit Deception forcing the flash. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cool is going to check right into Kitties, and Illusion should be able to get the jump on this one. The fish is coming out. Chomp goes to Shark, but Cool is going to go down. Oh, wait a minute. Not before he takes down Illusion. Nice play. OMG really answering back despite the Invictus plays here.
I'm just so curious what the miscommunication was between Loveland and GoGoing there. He stood for so long into that brush. GoGoing tanked about 3 tower shots before Drug did any sort of damage to Youngsu. That was just frank miscommunication.
Absolutely. It was very strange. They thought that was going to be an easy dive. A really nice timely flash and subjugate saves Youngsu's life. He moves away at the last second. And then you see GoGoing and Loveling just like, oh, we didn't get a kill? And they just waited there until they got killed by Zatai. I mean, that was brilliant. Or at least one went down. I mean, that was next level play. Invictus is making really good early game strides here.
I feel like right now, Alan is the MVP of IG with that dive there.
Oh, kid.
See if he can turn it around.
Yeah. I think you don't focus the top lane too much. This is a much better pickup. Youngsu going out of his comfort zone has certainly helped out Invictus Gaming, and they've managed to keep this game dead even. Now the Dragon is being looked at. There are 2 teleports available. These top laners will be able to get down there, but there's an Equilibrium Strike available if Youngsu does try it. And Vision Control now. Over to OMG for a moment.
It's so easy for Trundle to pick when he wants to engage GoGoing, which, you know, says something to the fact that GoGoing was able to find that solo kill on Youngsu because he understood, you know, his champion's damage, but the fact that, oh, hold on, though. Steven going in, Paranoia.
Darkness going on to Kitties right now. Might not have been the best target, but they will get the chase, and he is feared up, completely useless. Cool, he gets melted. Oh my goodness, what is happening to OMG? However, they are going to answer back a couple of kills right there. Get themselves 2 in trade for Illusion and Kitties. Youngsu up in the top, able to defend this massive wave under tower. GoGoing trying to find an angle in. Yeah, OMG is just, even when they take what looks like a bad engage, they get chunked out like that, they're able to answer back extremely well. Huge team fighting difference.
It was also a very nice teleport stop from Youngsu. Does find GoGoing in the bush right here.
Yeah, boy.
Nice
he might not have too many places to go right now. Doesn't have an ult available or anything. Subjugate coming down. That's an Equilibrium Strike, and Youngsu has to back off, but it was a close thing. These engagements, these one-on-ones, they're so close. And I think this is a pretty big difference to highlight China and a lot of the rest of the other regions, the other professional regions, you don't see as many one-on-ones, as many one-on-one kills especially. But China really likes to take those as much as they can. And speaking of fights, it's a 2v1 now. Youngsu's got the fish on him, and he's getting chomped. Going forward, but he's pretty low in and of himself. Cool. We'll be able to clean that one up for the low price of 1 dragon. Nice move by Invictus to capitalize on the 2 members top lane.
They trade the global objective, however, in the previous push, because OMG found those picks, they were able to trade the mid-tier tower, which grants them those passive vision control over the map. So, I mean, yeah, they got the dragon. Gold's still very relatively even because they effectively just traded 2 globals, or traded 1 global over the span of a minute 30.
Yeah, that was maybe not the greatest trade. The net result, though, is that it's still pretty dead even overall, despite having lost the tower. Now Zatai might be in trouble. Cool getting chunked out even so. Playful Trickster saving his life, but not for long. He's going to go down. Cool getting himself another kill. Lichbane first fizz. That's how you do.
Doesn't connect with the charm. Real punishment right there, but nice wing from Allen. Again, Drug is much more about ganking his top and mid lane. We've yet to really see him bot, and OMG staying very true to the MO. The fact that Kitties have invested so much in warding when, I mean, you can almost make the case that it's frankly not needed because it's so rare that Allen makes an appearance down there.
Yeah, he has been trying to focus to snowball Go-Going as hard as he can, and for all his efforts, Go-Going is still not dead, but it's been very close. He's given his own life up a number of times. Yeah, I mean, that's you can put that on a trophy, on a plaque maybe. But Youngsu on this Trundle pickup, it's a very different story than the Aurelia choice. I think it's a much smarter choice for the team fighting phase.
It's a brilliant matchup because you have to think when Go-Going's going to jump onto Trundle, he's going to use his, forgive me if I forget the names because I'm not the play-by-play caster, the frozen ground that makes him run faster.
That is called Frozen Domain.
Oh, there we go,
So
Frozen Domain. And
let me pull up my play-by-play book here and
I just think that you have
scroll
one of those,
over to Trundle for a second.
Those Blue's Clues books, and you just like nail
oh,
time.
the charm.
He's gonna walk away.
Speaking of nailing him, oh cool, half his health is gone. But the burst is so real between Cool and Zatai right now that I feel like as soon as the camera pans over there, it's already over. Half the time.
There's not a lot of kill potential there. The issue is that even if Ari gets a hold of Fizz, her damage isn't. I'm gonna say this skeptically. Without a Deathfire Grasp, though he does have it, the damage isn't immediate on a target like that. It's not like, you know, a Syndra dropping R and then suddenly, you know, half your health bar is gone. It takes a little bit of time because she's going to use, you know, it takes the time of her Q to come through someone and then to come back. It takes the time of the 3 charges from Spirit Rush. It takes the travel time of the W.
Nope, Kitties. He gets caught up. The box is in. They're investing heavily in this one, and a teleport now from Youngsu. Everyone's caught up on the box, and they just have to back away. Kitties actually very, very low. However, there is the pillar to try and keep them all away. Can Trundle get on in? Youngsu's looking pretty big, but maybe they want the re-engage. Dada getting a hookup. Now Zatai going over Spirit Rush. Back again. Playful Trickster, but OMG is low. Rethinking this fight.
They're going here.
Maybe they're going to go in on it. Oh my goodness. They're going to take that fight. Illusion getting himself the first kill on his jungle counterpart. Going low. And Cool wreaking havoc in the backline. Illusion will finally go down. And that is an absolute cleanup. But it's a 2 for 3. Zatai managing to get out just in time. Or is he? San does not have an ult just yet. And, well, 4 kills for 2. Clearly OMG owning that fight. But it was a very, very tense moment.
2 very important things about that fight. The fact that the teleport was used by Youngsu. Going actually got into that fight, walked all the way to it, and was able to get involved just in the nick of time. Again, it's the fact that Going is the shot caller, telling his team disengage. The fact that their only disengage really came in the form of Thresh. Like they're self-sufficient. You have the Relentless Pursuit, you have the fish pole. So they have all the ability to just disengage themselves. That Thresh, all he had to do was flay, and IG just, even though they had the teleport, they couldn't find the hard engage with Braum of all champions.
Yeah, sometimes you try to flay, sometimes you just flail. It happens, especially Dada has had trouble really hitting skill shots, and that's really what's costing OMG, I think, a lot more than... They're still cleaning up fights really well.
Yeah, it's just
they could be cleaning it up a lot better. They could be getting a 5 for 0. They have superior engage right now. They have a gold lead. They know how to abuse it. Now Going, finding Youngsu in a 1v1 situation, but Youngsu able to get a lot of that health right on back and zoom on out of there thanks to his Frozen Domain. Going, however, going to push this turret. Invictus has to stem this right now. They're going for a dive now with Loveling. I think we've seen this before, but they're bringing Cool to the party as well. I don't think the Trolls got anywhere to go. Down he falls. That's going to be another kill picked up by Cool. However, they're getting answered back. Zatai's in the picture. They're getting the hook on. That's the connection they needed. And here we go. Loveling, second thoughts about going back on in because he's a little bit low here. Does not have an ult available either. The fish is going to land on Kitties. There we go. That's the pickoffs. OMG absolutely wiping the floor with Invictus, who really should not be thinking about going back in for one moment. Can we save it? I don't think so. Ooh, Illusion. Back off.
Again, so coordinated, having all 5 members there, everyone getting involved in that. Not only do they pick up all those kills, but they pick up 2 globals for their...
Oh, they're going to get, yeah, an easy another tower there. Nice use of Coling Sun, able to zone people out. Very, very well done by OMG to force the objectives, and they have themselves a huge lead here.
They're going to pick up pink wards, they're going to mosey onto that dragon, and they're going to complete all of the vision control and just take another free objective.
Yeah, able to rotate around the map pretty much wherever they want. At this point, I feel like once they get the second tier mid, they should be able to force a Baron fight from there, and that might be where they look to. That has been a key point to their victories, is really controlling Baron.
Good team about it. Of course, Baron is very important in China for obvious reasons. But look at this. 4 pink wards across the board from OMG right here.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Dragon being baited now by Invictus. Kitty's actually way far forward in the brush. Oh, he barely gets the Winter's Bite connection and going. Does a double take on that one. They're not quite starting it yet because this is still a heavy commitment, and OMG, wise to this, going to move in on it right now. This is not a fight Invictus Gaming can afford to take. They have lost in this same area before, and with a couple of blue buffs on OMG's side, this is tough.
I'm a little bit surprised that OMG isn't utilizing their teleport right now. The fact that Youngsu burned it prematurely in the last big engagement in the river. Going, of course, again, walk to that team fight so he has it available. I would have expected to see him actually top and creating a pressure point for this dragon and then teleporting in should a team fight break out. But he is here now. See how they handle this.
Yeah, Wave is actually pushing in Invictus' favor in most lanes. Oh, Dada nearly gets the connection with the hook. Illusion forced to jump away from it.
Here's
this is so close. Oh, the charm lands. They might go in for Cool. Nope, Lantern.
Here's the issue with the stall. Oh, the fish lands.
Zatai. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Diving in the back line is Loveling. Is going to find it. Gets away just barely. Youngsu absolutely evaporates in the back. However, they do manage to pick him up. They pick up Loveling and Cool, by the way. And oh my goodness. This is getting absolutely nuts.
Kids in the back line.
He's caught. He's done. San getting himself another kill. Kids down as well. Heal being forced. He goes down. Illusion. Zatai. He's dealing all sorts of havoc, but that is going to be another fight taken by OMG. 2 for 4. Absolute discount rate, and this is a dragon on top of it.
Discount rate. Big thing about the team fight, of course, it's going to be a nice catch on the fish. The fact that they're hard engaging with the Fizz ultimate, who would have ever thought that would happen, and the fact that it landed on Ari of all people, having that Spirit Rush available to her. The other big key here thing is, again, OMG pushing forward as a complete unit, covering their flanks, being very cautious about how they expend their cooldowns. Zatai used his Spirit Rush defensively, got onto the other side of that wall, and was never able to get re-engaged with any of the team fight because OMG pushed past the ramp that led down into river. So, I mean, effectively, the mid laner was completely gone, even though he didn't die.
Yeah, forcing Zatai out was a nice move. He nearly was able to grab a kill from above the wall, but nonetheless, OMG really showing up big. I think this is why you pick the Nocturne. Just able to secure that in the back. Yeah, he gave his life for it, but when you look at the results, got to be worth. Now, looking to control this Baron. Invictus is not going to give it to him for free, though.
Sees Zatai looking for a possible pick there with a sneaky sweeper. Doesn't find it.
Yeah. They just want to clear out the wards whenever they may be placed, but OMG have other plans. They want to force the fights where they can. The Ward Wars, a very famous over 20-minute battle that always commences on Summoner's Rift, especially in China.
See if they're able
it's like
to
a reenactment.
They have to be very careful not to get picked off here.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Now, Cool, I hate to say it, but he's actually in the worst danger despite his escapes. He's been the one chunked down almost significantly every time.
Again, it's
the focus
issue
from
that
Invictus is great.
Ari can't nuke Fizz because he's gonna, make himself invulnerable with his leap. And the fact that she doesn't have that immediate drop-down damage, that, again, it takes that a little bit of wind-up time, a few seconds. She's very capable of 100 to 0ing someone, but it has to happen instantaneously to take out a Fizz.
Yeah, and you know, gives Zatai some credit. He's been able to do it. Whoa, flash hook just barely dodged out. Spirit Rush being spent by Zatai. Oh man, Dada, he has been trying for these hooks all night, but he just can't quite land them when he needs to. And this is going to be a key cooldown. Though they do get out of Zatai, however, trading a summoner for it. Siege commences. OMG should be able to push in for just a minute, but that wave is pretty thin. And San's going to back out before he takes any damage.
And this is what they use San for on this Lucian pickup. He's just here to burn through the towers. Of course, utilizing Lucian passive. Gets the double tap right there.
Yeah, oh, they almost get the hook again. Dada has been just a pixel away from these. And that's just the worst feeling as a Thresh, when you just can't quite connect it. Leveling. Trying to preempt anything that might happen here on the bot side. Oh, he's on the wrong side of the tower, though. Kid should be able to chase him down, but that tower's gone already. It doesn't even matter. And OMG's able to get out for free.
Stiff breeze. They do lose a tower, but could have been worse. Again, IG, if they had died there, if they had gotten picked off, it would have easily been a Baron for OMG, so...
Yeah, it's...
a little worse for wear.
It's one of those things where you can't afford to make any mistakes, and this is very early in the game for that kind of situation. Normally we think of, 45, 50 minutes as that point where the game gets decided by a team fight or by a single pick. Well, these guys love fighting, so it might be even sooner than that.
The gold lead, of course, also starting to get very much out of hand.
Uh-oh, Youngsu not in a good spot. He might be able to 1v1 going, but he's not going to be able to handle both that and Cool and now Dada. I think he's going to give up the ghost here, but he's going to try. Not without a fight. The fish does land on him. That'll be able to flay him back in, and that's going to be another kill picked up for going. Will they start the Baron? They are pinging for it.
No reason to be up that far. They had zero
Oh, they got a pull. Oh no, Zatai! This is disastrous right now. Invictus lose 2 members, and that is going to be even more as they go forward onto Kitty's Braum ult expended, but it's going to be dashed away from. Both Lucian and Fizz use their escapes, and it is a 2-man advantage for a moment. This is going to definitely be a Baron attempt from OMG. There is the X Factor Smite Steal, can Illusion get it, but Cool is zoning very effectively, and there's no reason they can't pick this one up, I think.
Invictus Gaming high-fiving each other as they ran into a vision-controlled area by OMG, but they actually pull him off of the Baron.
Wow, they're going for the fight here. This is, I think, a little bit questionable. Kitty's is low, but the teleport. Youngsu's going in. Kitty's is going to go down. Oh my goodness, they find Kid on the hook. They might just take this one right here, and now Illusion. He's going to melt away. Youngsu limping away from that fight. Pretty decent health bar, but everybody on OMG, battered and bruised, still pushing on forward. It's only Youngsu and Zatai, and I think this tower is going down.
Previously, in the beginning of the split, OMG would have tried to take that Baron, which is technically a 50-50 Baron because Illusion was still alive and available. Very easy to make that Smite Steal. Oh, OMG.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Go going.
I go going. Nonetheless, they're going to get Youngsu out of this one quite easily. His health bar didn't look like much of anything there. Zatai trying to chase people away. And he will manage to defend in time for Kid and Kitties to come back up, as well as Illusion.
So they go overzealous right there, as I was just praising them about their control and patience. The fact that they...
That's like the curse every time you praise
I know,
something.
right? They immediately feed. The patience to not play the 50-50 Baron, to go for the surefire team fight win, was brilliant. Of course, then they kind of threw it away with a bit of an overzealous dive right there. And now, Cool getting chased down. Doesn't have a lot of mana, actually.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble right now. He is dodging. Fancy footwork there for a fish anyways. Oh, boy. They come in fish size. He's got a blue buff, too. He will get that mana back in just a minute. But Illusion and Kid making a push on this bot tower is only the first tower of the game for Invictus if they do manage to take it out. Very late in the game for them to be picking it up, but they will finally manage to take it. However, with 4 members bot, this is going to be another chance for OMG to take down the Baron. They're making a beeline for it right now. And Zatai is backing. They have no idea this is happening.
Well, their last series, they only had 2 towers to 10 in the end of it, and this series is shaping up very much in the same way, IG.
Sense the disappointment in your voice.
They just can't group together to find these objectives. They're playing very reactionary. OMG controlling the vision, controlling the pace.
Oh, this is going to be close right now. They get a hook off on Illusion. They're going hard for him. He gets a leap away, and he just barely escapes. Baron is still up there. It is poking out everybody inside the pit. They're all going to get out. Bail out. Kitty's taken pretty low, chunked by Cool, and that's a reset. So they do manage to cancel it. Turret, meanwhile, goes down due to a large minion wave up in the top side. Invictus clinging to life in game number 2.
They've already doubled the towers they've taken. Excellent work, boys.
Yeah, well, twice 0 is still 0. And I'm not talking about StarHorn support.
They do go through, though, and clear out a lot of the vision, which increases the safety of the jungle. The last time that the game power spiked a little bit out of control is the fact that, again, they walked into complete control of OMG, and OMG just found pick after pick, starting with Youngsu, then Sutai.
On paper, this definitely didn't look like an overly OMG favored matchup, I think from the champion picks especially, but you can really just see the difference in quality of how these teams play. OMG is just such a controlled pace, and they will just beat you down time and time again, take any fight, but take it for an objective and really just look like the smarter team overall. There they go, getting themselves another Dragon uncontested as the gold lead goes up to 12,000 at 29 minutes. I mean, it's a massive lead, it looks like at least, but oh, nice dip and dodge from Cool. Put on some gym shorts.
It's the win conditions for these teams. It's very clear that OMG, you know, they want the tower, they want the blue buff, they want the Baron, where as Invictus Gaming, it looks like they're just saying, you know, we want the fight, we want the kill, we want to chase.
No, the servers. That was a problem. We'll switch over to the regular stream in just a moment, but this is definitely going to be a Baron attempted by OMG, and I don't know if IG has enough in the tank to stop them. They'll certainly try for it. Well, everyone's going to back off. Vision control, definitely gained up there by OMG.
This in hyperspeed.
Yeah. That was like the quickest lantern I've ever seen.
I don't know, you can move that fast.
Apparently you can when you've lagged for 5 minutes. It's compensation, right? When you aren't moving in space and time, then you like instantly get it back and you just fast forward.
Controlling the vision.
Oh boy.
See if they can find the pick.
Baron is angry. Baron smash. Leveling. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And he's going to have to back out of this one. IG just bought themselves a little bit of time. And they are doing a great job of not letting the Baron... Oh, illusion. If he'd have known.
OMG's just not grouping and being... I mean, again, we just praised them about how they're making these plans and they're following through and they're putting together all the steps to make it happen, but they're trying to get this Baron. They're getting the vision down, but they're not grouping up and protecting the vision. They keep finding these mismatches where someone gets poked down, they lose a member, IG gets a numbers advantage, is able to come in and kind of sweep this vision away.
Yeah, the closing is definitely not helping them right now. OMG trying to find a favorable engagement, but yeah, losing members is not going to help with that, or at least getting people taken low. It's this focus on Baron, and we'll go back to that, what we saw a minute ago. So Illusion and Kitties should be able to kind of poke this one away. Now we're going to see like a lot of kind of replay here, but when we get back up to speed, I think OMG, instead of forcing the Baron, they might want to try a little bit of a split push, because they have the ability to do that. Going's got his teleport up. And the fans are like, man, these guys are not doing too well.
I think she had an IG sign, is what I'm going to assume happened there.
Yeah. I mean, there's some life in him yet.
Yeah, that would be my face.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Again, we're supposed to be here. I know, there's something really important in this side of the map. I just can't quite... Oh, wow. Is he eating a hot dog?
I'm not really sure what that was.
That's actually how I eat hot dogs. That's the face I make.
That is something that I'll never be able to erase from my mental image. That is a memory I did not want.
That was priceless. Do you think they're like purposely finding these fans so the camera guy's like, okay, here we go. I need a good one.
Yeah. He's just like panning around constantly. Oh man, that'll do.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah. Alright, so Baron being started up again here. OMG, just kind of waiting.
For the 4th time?
Well, I mean, they're not actually starting it. He's their friend for right now. Going, providing a little bit extra zone.
They need to make a pick, but unfortunately their only hard engage is Fish or Death Sentence. Did not bring the Leona, do not have the Braum. They don't have... I mean, IG, again, has to walk into OMG for them to find this engagement.
Yep. Oh, this is going to be absolutely crazy in just a moment. Oh, they're going. It's like they get poked just a little bit, and they're like, I don't feel like going in anymore, guys.
These sounds are pretty intense. I really wish our...
What I'm seeing is not syncing up with what I'm hearing right now. That's a little bit strange.
Oh, though we do see OMG positioning.
Yeah, they're gonna force this
up for this mid. See if they can catch IG out of position here. Maybe find some sort of objective. Come on, guys.
Well, it seems like they're not really sure where they want to go right now. Like they're grouping up.
They don't have the tools to get what they want.
Yeah, they're not pushing, and IG has been able to force this back just every single time on them.
And again, we talk about kind of self-sufficiency, the fact that they don't have the hard engage, they're relying on controlling vision to make these picks. It's very hard to lock down a Trundle, to lock down a Kha'Zix, to lock down an Ahri. And as these games go later and later and these items start coming out, I mean, OMG's comp, again, for what they want, is very one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's sort of obvious what they're going for, and now this Baron being started up once again. Now Dada will be able to get the hook in. Oh my goodness, he is not in a great spot, able to bail out just in time. Baron is peeled off of. They spend the culling and a couple more ults just to secure that one up. Zatai going in, he can't quite find the damage, and he gets out as well. There's Loveling going all the way to the back line. That's what he's trying to do, but he goes down way too quickly. Going now in the mix. However, IG have been able to fend this one off. It is a 1-for-1 trade so far, with Zatai finally melting, but Loveling giving up his own life for that one, and OMG not enough in the tank to keep this engage. And now their bot lane's under fire.
The self-sufficient disengage of Invictus Gaming's champions, the fact that they brought the disengage, they brought the poke, they brought the pick, and the hard engage. The fact that they have that Braum, again, it's just burning OMG. They have to, Invictus Gaming has to make a mistake for OMG to get what they want. And finally, IG wising up on the back half of this game.
Yeah. It seems like Invictus has found a way back into this, as unlikely as it seemed a few minutes ago. I mean, there's still a massive gold lead. You've got 13,000, but the fact that OMG can't close these fights and isn't even confident in taking them is just a testament to this late game potential of Invictus and how well they're able to escape from certain death, especially Zatai and Illusion.
I don't know if it's a confidence issue. It's very clear that OMG wants to fight, that they can't get it. IG, though, it now comes down to them. Can they stall out long enough to overcome this gold deficit? This is still a 10k deficit at 33 minutes. That's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and I don't know if they can really surmount that. Nonetheless, they're continually stalling this one out. We could be in for a long game.
It looks to be that way. We'll see if OMG tries to change it up with going, looking for more like a split push. Again, trying to control the vision of the jungle, trying to clear this out. They want IG to walk into them. I feel like IG is pressuring them to make a mistake with the Baron.
And that's like the way you should play it, I feel, that they've not been able to secure this one up.
Oh, here we go.
Going in. He's low, but Cool is lower. Down he goes, and Yangsu dancing on his corpse goes for the engagement. Is a 5v4 numbers advantage right now. Excellent box placement. Yangsu sidesteps it with a flash and some fancy footwork, and they're going to find San running away. Oh, Zatai! I don't think that was the Zhonya's we were looking for. And they will force them to back away, but they do manage to get one kill, and this might be Baron time now. Invictus trying to force this fight. Yangsu was actually backing, though.
So two really unfortunate Zhonyas, and I say two because Cools did not come out. He had that item completed, didn't even get a chance to burn that Zhonyas before he was deleted from the map.
Okay, so OMG knows they can push on top, though. This is so dangerous. There's a teleport trundle coming in. Oh, Loveling. Oh boy, he gets out in time. That could have been disastrous. This fight's never going to end, I don't think. Kitties wants to go in here. He does have his ult available. Can he do it? Yangsu, there he spends it. It's only going to connect on Dada. They will take it. Yangsu, he's low. Gets ignited. Can they follow back on in? Dada's down. That's Kid getting the kill credit for that one. Yangsu getting dove on the back line. Oh, Loveling, he might have overcommitted to this one. The pillar comes in. Zatai takes him out. This fight is going for Invictus Gaming, and they can turn around and try to kite OMG around the map as long as they want, but OMG has waves pushing in the top and bot. They have pressure on their side. The backs are being stopped. Invictus Gaming cannot get out of this fight, even though they won. Going 1v4, chase them back to base, and now here's Cool back again.
Zatai does have his ultimate back up and available for him. See if he turns for a pick here. Actually ults away. Okay, everyone backs off. IG coming up huge right there. A big part of that was the fact that they funneled OMG into that small corridor. Not only did they funnel and it works so well for the champions, again, you're competing into a tight area with a Braum ultimate as well as the Ahri skill shots. But the bigger issue, though, was the fact that that was the one corridor that IG had complete vision control of. I think there was 2 pinks in that brush right there. So double whammy for them, and they find perfect position and perfect kills. The fact that, again, a cohesive unit moving through, Kid in the back, being that vein at 36 minutes that he needs to be.
The dives from Loveling have not been working out lately. He was able to trade 1-for-1 for most of this game, but now the issue is he can't even do that. Another dragon does fall to OMG. They secure it more of a gold lead, but at this point, it's starting not to matter anymore, and ooh, that looked delicious.
I'm telling you, it's a hot dog.
Oh, that whatever it was, I would like to buy one. But,
we can't go singing the prices just yet. It is very important that IG is using their composition correctly and very proficiently. The fact that they're able to, find these engagements that they like with the deficit that they have. This is still 13k gold down, 24 to 13.
And Invictus is winning fights. I know. How crazy is this right now? OMG not really playing to their strengths. I think they're continuing to really force these 5v5s in a very unfortunate way, and they, as a result, too much emphasis on Baron, not enough on pushing the objectives and the waves that they have going for them. I think they could split this one out with going.
They exactly. They're not. Oh, although
Kitty's is caught. Oh, he's fine.
They're not using the teleport that they have. The fact that they know that Youngsu's teleport is down, they know that they have that cooldown. They keep finding these engagements. If they can't capitalize on it, they don't have any follow through.
It's really just been a dance in the jungle for a little while, and Invictus really have been
on the wrong side of your tower.
Oh boy, Kitty's, he's locked up again. This is the fight OMG wants to take. Loveling is already low. Kitty's an illusion though. Took a lot of burst there, and now Zatai and Illusion are trying to back. This tower will go down. OMG might be able to just brute force their way in. Can they crack the inhibitor line at 38 minutes? Yes, they will. And now Youngsu shows they dive in on that one. Everything committed to Youngsu, but he gets out just fine. And here's Zatai. Can he blow anyone up? No, he cannot, but they will finally find a pick. Illusion getting Dada 7. And that is going to be Invictus coming up pretty big, but can OMG answer on back? They do get 2 kills. Cool. Fanning Illusion and Zatai. Oh my goodness, this is going absolutely crazy with Kid picking up a kill on to going now. It's 2 for 2, but it's anybody's guess how this will turn out. Cool gonna Playful Trickster away from the pillar. And a safe disengage. Well, that seemed anything but. That was way too close for comfort.
More importantly, though, OMG broke the inhibitor line, so they do have an open mid-inhib right there. And again, expressing those options, making sure that they can play the map pressure game as opposed to just the team fighting game, because it's not working out for them. As we saw with IG, finding the pressure and pushing OMG off of that. Don't lose the inhib, but again, small steps.
Yeah, it's the slow march back into the game, and again, Invictus can stall this out. They can't afford to give up too many more objectives, but it's really problematic if they don't at least trade even. So far, so good on what they've been able to accomplish, and I think this Baron is pretty untouchable this game. OMG going to attempt round, I think it's 5 by now. It's like a boxing. Oh, Baron is angry. Baron smash.
Okay, here we go, though. OMG. Sindingo going down into that bot lane, so finally going to play up the teleport. That said, Youngsu will have his available.
Yeah, they should be able to do this no problem. Dada, Loveling, and Cool going to hide out in the pit. Ooh, if he can get a hook onto Kitties, and he does, that might not be the one they're looking for. They don't want to take the engagement. Dada is going to block the Winter's Bite, so Baron will not be aggroed. And, oh, San nearly getting a connection. Ardent Blaze, Dada will go in, misses a hook again. Invictus knows exactly what's up, and they know exactly how to deal with this. Going is going to be able to push this wave. He's got teleport available. Youngsu, if they take the 5v4, though, they might be able to burst someone down before he gets a chance to get back, and he's not pushed very hard yet.
Youngsu needs to be paying attention to this pressure point on the bottom, like you said. Eventually, someone's going to have to respond there. OMG trying to force a favorable mismatch on numbers. There he goes.
Yeah, they're going to send him away now. So both teleports are definitely available, so I think this game will even out a bit more. The wave defense has been incredible from Invictus. Every time they see sight of fire, they always go and put it out very quickly. Mid lane, though, that's going to be the big ping outs now as Invictus Gaming rushing to defend their open inhibitor. This is OMG looking to make a power play here. You see going coming in for the collapse. Youngsu's there as well. OMG a little bit caught, but Invictus caught out of their base. Pants down. Can they defend this one? It's hard to say. Zatai looking for a bait setup, but that's just going to be a free inhib right now. OMG says, thank you very much. We will walk away from this one, or maybe we'll walk right back into your team. Going for the 1v1 on Illusion. The charm is going to connect. Zatai, he has to run away from this one. Oh, Nocturne at the old Nongsu. He's going to be taken pretty low on this one. I don't know if they can get out. Calling Spent, not going to connect on anybody. And now it's going to be Kitties going down. Cool finding a pick up there. And Youngsu bleeding and limping away. And OMG definitely taking the big fight there. I don't know if they can finish this. Cool going forward for Kid. Oh, he gets jumped back on Illusion. That's not where you want to be, but Zatai's getting chunked down. Finally, they'll answer back, but they are going to trade some damage on the bot side turret. OMG looking so scattered and disjoint, even though they have been the stronger team fighting team. What is going on right now, Frostgrin? This team is starting to fall apart at the seams.
Miscommunication again, of course. Cool going to Ham. I feel like he was telling his team push up mid, try to take a Nexus tower. At least just, you know, coordinate the damage into one area. Can we talk about uncoordination though? Invictus Gaming, back to back. I feel like I was watching Deja Vu. Not only did they lose their inhib tower, but lost the inhibitor in the exact same way, 2 minutes apart.
They didn't even go in to attempt to defend. It was so strange. And then it was Going who says, all right, I'm just going to run to your team and force a fight now. Like, this is bizarro LPL right now. This is a very, very strange play from both these teams. Uncharacteristic, but you always call Youngsu and Invictus the very much this dark horse team that you never know what they're going to do. Well, it turns out they're not going to defend their towers.
They're not going to do anything. They're just going to watch it happen. No,
they take the neutral stance.
Maybe. Zatai looking for the prick. He's got a Banshee Veil. Wow,
he didn't even flinch. Now, Illusion gets hooked up on a line here, but that's perfectly okay. Vision control around Baron, they really want to maintain it, but OMG is not going to give them the opportunity to get a dive off on Leveling, dodging out the Orb of Deception. Even blue buff is contestable. These guys want to fight over everything.
Again, it's that mentality. IG is not saying, you know, we want the tower, we want the Baron, we want the kills, we want the champions, and it's burning them, although, oh no.
I can think of a phrase that's nicely. Oh, Dada 7! He gets caught, he goes down, teleport in for Youngsu, and IG has a one-man advantage. OMG bailing out as fast as they possibly can, but going, maybe setting up a counter? No, that's not enough damage. That looked like it tickled.
Do you have the numbers advantage? See what they can do with it. Zatai, of course, though, very low.
He's trying to back here. He's trying to sneakily back so he can get back into the fight in just a moment. Kitty's doing a good job zoning, but if they find this one, Zatai's going to get away. Just barely. Oh, dive and Leveling. This is a 4v4 right now. OMG could take this. He dodges out the winner's bite. Unbreakable on the Culling. Cool going forward. Kitty's is low. What armor says? Oh my goodness. They managed to take down Kitty's, and it's going to be Kid. Stunned up for just a second. Youngsu zoning, but he goes down to Cool. That is a 1-4-2. Illusion back in the picture. Cool managing to find himself a couple of nice assassinations. Where does OMG go from here? They have an open couple of towers to take, but that's about it.
Can't pull back to the Baron. Again, it's still a 50-50 Baron. Of course, Zatai, full health, back into the team fight. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Go back, clear out the jungle, take the dragon, look for vision control of the Baron, attempt again.
Yeah, this is going to be a really drawn-out slugfest, and it's not going to end until one huge decisive fight finally allows the other team to push in. 44 minutes into the game, and it's still anyone's guess. IG, against all odds, they've been holding out.
Speaks a lot, though, to the uncoordination that OMG has found in important moments. The fact that they weren't able to close this game, the fact that this gold lead, like we said, yeah, it's huge, but at 45 minutes into the game, that doesn't mean as much as it did, you know, 10 minutes ago. OMG stalling out.
It means almost nothing at this point once you've got up to 60k. I mean, you've got full builds from everybody in OMG, but Invictus will get there soon enough. And now you've got to worry, is this the OMG that fell apart against Edward Gaming? It's starting to look like that.
The big issue is that their weakest player is their strongest role right now. So much is hinging on Dada 7 to find these engagements and to set the pace for OMG, and he can't find these skill shots. He's found the death sentences impressively inside the team fights, but for engaging them, for starting them, and yes, it's true against a very high mobile team that Invictus Gaming is running, but you have to think if maybe this was an oversight from OMG.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. They didn't plan as much for the late game. You can see from their comp, like, they won a duel, they wanted to get ahead early, and they did, but then they got it and didn't do anything with it. They got towers and maybe an inhibitor, but that's already back up.
Typical
the advantage
Chinese
they
aggression.
have. Yeah, oh, you said it. All right, put it on a hashtag, put it on a bumper sticker.
See if they can make anything happen here. The in-hit is back up as they march
hit
at the
and run
lane.
operation. They might be able to go in and take this one out, but IG is mobilizing to the defense of this inhibitor. They will force OMG to back away. Wow, Son didn't even flinch. Winner's Bite just grazed the front of his nose, and that will be the fight. Youngsu, everybody's stunned up. Zatai. Oh, the hook nearly connects, but there is a calling from Son to zone him away. Illusion, his health bar going nowhere. I cannot believe how close they got to chunking him out, but now this is the fight OMG wanted. They are forcing down the kills, and they should be able to end this one up, but unless they get caught, Dada in a bad spot. Zatai mopping that up, and it looks like Kitties will get the kill credit all said and done. It's a 1-for-1 supports traded. Going and crew trying to run out of here, trying to turn around a fight as best they can, but this is such dangerous territory for both teams. Invictus with no fear, trying to defend their base to the last.
Hero of that team fight was San, actually. I don't know if we'll get the replay of this, but he makes a beautiful sidestep on Zatai's damage and effectively half healths him and then chases him off with a Cole and comes back around and picks off another member of Invictus Gaming. Beautiful Lucian play from here, but of course, you know, Kid in that backline, being that Vayne.
Yeah, he evens it out, equalizing, and this is the power of a late game Vayne. Very much turning around fights just on the back of a slight overstep from Data7, who they can't afford to give him up at all. He has been good about not getting caught, but overextending in team fights when you're just trying to end the game, get the kills, got to be so frustrating for OMG right now.
Just uncoordination with their primary engage asset. The fact that he's what they have to start fights, although Paranoia now being used.
Now they're going to go. Loveling chases them away into their own jungle, and they'll be able to clear some vision up too. Still trying to get a hold on this Baron. I think you just got to give it up at this point, boys.
They need to look at other avenues. That's not worked for them. This is what? This is a 50-minute game with 0 Barons, though?
Shh, don't say anything cool is split pushing.
Okay, shh. I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, you have an Ahri back. Yangsu, meanwhile, trading out with Gogoing. These guys really like to fight in the first game, not so much the second. Gogoing actually getting much better on this one, and, well, they don't find too much of anything as Cool will peel off. Culling now spent. Kitty's getting blocked most of the damage. Oh, man.
Huge
Illusion,
damage from San.
Illusion is not coming up worse, or he's coming way worse for the wear in these fights. He has not been able to stand any of that poke, and it's kind of been a non-factor for Invictus. Here we go.
They
Finally,
have
the Baron
so many pressure points on the map.
They have to go for this now, and they're bringing everyone to the party. Cool's actually zoning, and he's individually going on Kitties. Oh, he forces the Braum multi and gets away without even getting caught in it. Brilliant maneuver. Finally, OMG will be able to secure this, or will they? Illusion coming to the party, can get in. He doesn't get the steal off. Illusion, he's going to go down, but it was a nice attempt, and a kill. Cherry on top here. Kitties is low. Kid is low. Going with the zone to tie. Zanya's at the last second, but he'll go down anyways. That's going to be a pick off. Yangsu chased in. He gets grabbed. Going, still zoning the remaining members of Invictus Gaming, and it's just Kid and Kitties, and I don't think they have enough left in the tank. This is going to be a 2-0. Can they get the ace? Yes, they can. GG, well played. This is going to be a 2-0 for OMG, but how ugly was that?
Invictus Gaming forced OMG to play the game that they wanted. Eventually, they got the picks that they needed. They were able to snowball it through. And San coming up huge again. I believe he was unkilled that entire game. What, 11-0 and 14 or something ridiculous like that? Brilliant performance from him.
San did a pretty good job overall. I feel like individual performance wasn't the issue unless you're talking about Duck, which is kind of the the calling card of OMG lately. But they did not play that well together and could have closed out the game so much earlier. Invictus, to their credit, stalling out, giving them a fight to the very last. But at the end of the day, that's going to be OMG moving one step closer to Worlds, and Invictus dropping into that loser bracket.
And again, like you said, the road is not over for Invictus Gamings. They are They are in the losers
Several
bracket.
gamings of Invictus.
We will see them play again today. Again, it's 3 best of 3. So we just finished our first best of 3. The next best of 3 will be LGD Gaming versus StarHorn Royal Club. Loser of that will face off against Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty explosive match. I think IG should have some more tricks up their sleeve. I don't think they pulled out everything that Zatai at least can do. And, they didn't look terrible. I think there's a lot to work on, a lot to improve there, and now they know what they're really up against. But it'll be up to this next match to decide their opponents, of course. And the same can be said of OMG. StarHorn, definitely favored in this next set, but we will have to see. LGD is a team known for coming up with really unique and interesting strategies, and we'll see if that carries them forward into this next one. But, guys, we will be taking a quick break, going to commercial, and we'll be back with more of the Chinese Worlds Qualifier. Don't go anywhere, because you are watching the LPL in English.
This weighs heavy
MVP definitely go going. So we talked about this. Insane Jax play. This was one of his signature champions, and Jax is still a very popular pick for the top carries of China, particularly this man. He epitomizes it. You called him like he is sort of like China's answer to Flame.
But that's the issue, is that Jax isn't actually that. I mean, he's a big pick, but on very specific players, and it's really Cole. And we did see a recent resurgence of Jax, but it was in to pick away from Cole. I'm just very surprised that Going decided to kind of run with that theme and continue to play him into this. I mean, obviously knowing that Youngsu, the fact that Youngsu's champions are so predictable, knowing that he's going to go for that Shyvana offers a bit more credibility to that pick, especially so early on. But see if he continues, see if maybe he mixes it up.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Invictus, on the other hand, they need a better strategy. I mean, they got everything they wanted. They got a Vayne Thresh bot lane. They got Youngsu on a comfort champion. They got Zatai rocking Zed. You think they maybe attempt the Yasuo takeaway this time?
I definitely think Yasuo will be a contested pick, but again, I'm really on the fact that it's more about the Lee Sin. It's the synergy, the fact that the composition was set up not only to give Cool that champion, but the fact that they had so many resources for that champion to thrive. You had the Braum ultimate, you had the Lee Sin Dragon Rage. How many Dragon Rages did we see into, Last Breath? So they find the synergy there, and it's about disrupting that synergy, separating it, forcing OMG to kind of fight out of their comfort zone, and they called all of the shots that game.
Yeah, they were able to run it absolutely the way they wanted to. A bit of a rocky early game, and I think that's something that Invictus has to exploit.
打了回来，但是随后的表现对，那一波很关键，那一波可以说也是 OMG 自己的一个失误，但是最为致命的一波失误，却是最后的那一波，我觉得。
其实这场比赛就是两支队伍感觉在第一场好像，不知道是不是都是今天第一场比赛有点紧张，可能是近期没有什么大赛，所以之间在面对今天这个大阵仗的时候，稍微一点点紧张，失误频频。
对。 对，2支队伍的话都有一点点失误，
对，基本上都是靠着对面的失误来取得很多优势，包括 OMG 各种是小龙那里送的一波，还有包括是大龙前面各种送了，然后包括是这边 IG 也是，反正两边就感觉都是在抓对面的失误，而且基本上都抓住。
刚才还有一个非常有趣的点让我想到了，真的在这个我们的联赛里面，就是 IG 那一场面对 OMG 是成功的 rush 掉了大龙，对，然后这一把同样 OMG 利用对方这个姿态在下路的一个空档，又 rush 掉一条大龙。
All right, guys, welcome back. We're, of course, going to be getting into game number 2. This is the China Season 4 World Championship Qualifiers, OMG versus Invictus Gaming. Best of 3 set. So far, 1 game in OMG's favor, and I don't know about IG, Frosker, and I know your completely unbiased opinion on this, but what do you think about game number 2? Oh, guess she's not ready yet. We'll just keep going solo for just a minute, because basically... Oh, you are? Okay, so... what do you think about this second game?
My mic actually cut out because I was so excited about IG because I'm
literally the volume was so loud that it just kind of like
my
cut the cord.
Of fangirling just split eardrums. No, going to this game, it's hard because the bans I felt, obviously the ban Zilean, however, you can't do that. He gets to do exactly what Ziggs and Ori gets to do, but gets to walk away from the assassins due to his chrono shift.
Yeah, not going to be a factor this game. Neither is the Cow or Maokai. That's been something that Going has played a lot of more recently, but OMG are the ones who banned it away. Rise taken off the table, and that's just something you have to focus on Going. He cannot be allowed to pick that champion up.
It's also much a very double whammy against Cool and Going. You talk about Going's Rise, it is very potent, but Cool, also very well known for his Rise play.
Oh, last ban's, yeah, Yasuo. Not a surprise there.
The respect Yasuo ban. See if Cool actually goes for Ahri.
You know, it's a possibility. He has been, arguably saving it, right?
I have a feeling he's going to go Ahri or Ziggs. This is my prediction.
They have spent a lot of bans on the top and the mid right now. All the supports are pretty much on the table. I mean, yeah, you can argue Alistar, but this is pre-nerf too. Okay, so there we go. Banning out the Jax. That's another respect thing against Going. They have focused 3 bans against OMG's top laner. All in on this one.
See if maybe they can help Youngsu out in his kitty-sized champion pool.
Well, I don't think they'll lock in immediately. They have in the past, but I don't think they can afford to this time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is going to be an Aurelia game. Wow. OMG saying we can outplay you any time of day.
Well, the confidence in being able to first pick your top laner, please play Gnar. Fun fact about LPL, there are no champion bans. There's no... we're just kind of targeting against OP champions in general, just kind of a blanket across that. But like you said, I mean, both teams got what they wanted. OMG just played it better, and I don't feel this was so much a champion issue as it was a play style and a game plan issue. OMG was just much more methodical and much more precise in how they carried it out. The fact that, you know, they started with the bot lane, Lucian and Braum, giving Son, making sure they will never start the buff on the bottom side of the map because they never want Son and Dada 7 to leash for them and to possibly lose any sort of advantage that they can get in that bot lane. It's very stereotypical of OMG, and just one thing after the other, boom, 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 this is how we set it up, this is how we knock it down. And IG just reactive, chaotic, chickens with their heads cut off is what it looked like.
Yeah, well, and the man in the top lane really had a lot to do with that. Going, well, he did get going, and that was absolute craziness. I think Youngsu has to get out of his comfort zone for this. And, like, I know that sounds weird to say because he had hard enough time on something that he plays incredibly well, but it's so easy to figure him out. And Going has had absolutely no trouble dispatching anyone on this team. He nearly 1v3'd.
Yeah, and that's stereotypical of Going. Again, he goes, he plays those hyper carry champions. Surprising to see him on Jax again. The last time we saw him, he was actually picking it away from Cola, StarHorn Royal Club's top laner. So see if he continues that trend or if he maybe goes back to Aurelia.
Speaking of StarHorn.
Apparently
those are the teams. That's the team playing tonight. I didn't know that. So, OMG, you see on the right side. Maybe the logos are mixed up, but the teams are not.
I think they.
I think they decided, wait a minute, guys, hold on. Let's pull that graphic back for a second. The Lee Sin takeaway would be a big one now. Let's see if they can pull that off. They will, of course, be on the red side this time. So, well, maybe they can grab themselves 2 clear picks here. I mean, we talked about it. That's kind of prioritized. People like that red side instead because of your ability to kind of grab 2 things right off the bat, 2 of your OP pickups, what have you.
Red side does have a higher win rate in China than blue side. And again, it's also about counterpicking. China is very much about kind of the I'll beat you in lane mentality. Not necessarily, actually, very necessarily with these teams. I'm going to retract that statement. I'm thinking Going, Cool, and Zatai are all in this game.
Yeah, there's all bets are off. I mean, the mid laners are pretty crazy, but they did play a very passive early game. That's not something we frankly expected to see out of Cool. It was a bit more tempered.
Both of these mid lanes can, you know, quote unquote control each other. They're both very experienced, very strong laners. And again, we talked about how this game was really going to be decided by the jungle tempo and the bot lane tempo, and it was.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. Well, let's see what Drugnow Loveling pulls out of his hat this time. Of course, you are seeing on your screen the man himself. See if he can make some plays for his team this time. He definitely got a lot of pickoffs. Son has to watch his positioning as we get into this pick and ban phase. Zilean taken off the board immediately by OMG, and that's a nice little jab at Zatai.
They are never going to let that champion through. And again, both these guys like to play Zed, they like to play Yasuo, and you have to think Assassins are the counter to the AoE wave clear. If someone wants to pick Orianna, Ziggs, Zilean, or I should say Orianna and Ziggs and just kind of wave push all day, you pick an Assassin, you immediately murder them.